Okay, welcome back to a lifetime of constipations. Oh my god, I can't. Shit, I
At
can't.
our age, sometimes that's true.
It does.
But not today. It's a lifetime of conversations.
All right, well, let's talk some shit. Hey, so Dave, this is like a big deal. Your daughter got her license.
Yeah. Driver's license at that point.
That's
yeah.
that's a big deal.
Sure, absolutely.
Especially when you're a dad. I mean, that's your kid.
It's one of the milestones. Like everybody, like, oh, she graduated 3rd grade, have a party. No. I don't celebrate a whole lot of mediocrity, but there are certain things to me, like getting a driver's license, where the country you live in trusts you barely enough to legally drive with the rest of our animals on the road.
They don't trust you. They let you.
Well, right, yes, because they don't care whether you're in an accident, because that's what insurance is for, and if you don't have it, that's what jail is for.
And this is what I want to talk about. I mean,
privilege.
I mean, they trust me with a driver's license. I'm an idiot.
We're all idiots.
Yeah, right.
Just like we talked about off mic. Everyone thinks they're a better driver than everyone else. Everyone thinks their kid is better than everyone else's. Everyone thinks their animal or dog or cat is better than everyone else's. It's fine. It's okay. That's what we're supposed to do, I guess. But, yeah, we all suck. That's why I always...
We all suck, but you know what? We're so careful on who we give guns to. But meanwhile, a vehicle is a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
And how many times do you drive down the street and you see a kid like looking at their cell phone like, oh my God, Tina, I can't believe Troy went out with this girl for the prom. Boom! Next thing you know, you're dead.
Yeah, but in today's society, if you're looking down at your phone and you get wrecked by a car, it's a little bit of natural selection as well as awareness.
So here's
New York City, people don't pay attention to anything. They just walk. And everyone else has to stop around them. The masses walking down the road, listening to podcasts, talking to people, talking on cell phones. They're just walking.
Well, New York City is a complete zoo. We can't really compare New York City to...
No, but in the sense of the awareness level. Like, they're aware, but like if they're walking across and some cabbie gets too close, they smash on the hood and they're like, I'm walking here, right? Because
exactly.
I
you just said,
exaggerate.
hey, motherfucker, I'm trying to walk here, you idiot.
Walking here.
Beep, beep, and he gives him the finger.
Right,
he gives him the finger,
right.
You both walk, and
Because-
then everything is...
And
You
you
go
move
get
on.
a bagel, and then...
you move on. You didn't dwell on it, but my point is that it could have been a lot worse. But yes, it is different. I use it as an example because I think that goes with everything. I mean, I think we all just kind of adapt.
But it's worse now.
Yeah,
because
but it's not going to change. So you have to come up with a solution, not telling me the problem.
Okay,
at this
I'm
point.
gonna tell you a solution. I'm gonna tell you a solution,
All
but
right, go ahead.
before then, I'm gonna tell you much more of the problems.
Okay. Go.
A 16-year-old kid can drive a Ford F-350 lifted with the black smoke pouring out of the back, flipping off the middle finger. That child, and I'm sorry if I use the word child, that
Well, they are
child has the power in the palm of his hand to kill a woman that is a teacher of 32 years. I mean, we just give this driver's license. We just give it away. We just give it away.
Yeah.
Give it away now.
I mean,
give it away,
yes,
give it away.
but
So here's what I'm saying. Okay.
Because I'm just trying to understand how this is any different than the
Here's
last,
where I'm
let's say,
going.
20 years. I mean, 30 years, 40 years of driving.
And let me tell you something. Am I the perfect driver? Hell no.
No.
I'm
Nobody
an
is.
asshole too.
There's no such thing as a perfect driver.
Right.
Yeah.
But we could take a lot of these people okay, when you got your driver's license, you had to drive on the Long Island Expressway.
No. You see,
I did. I
and
had to go on the LA.
I don't understand that. Someone had recently just said that to me. And I'm like, no, we went in like rural Long Island suburban streets. We did the basic left turn, right turn, stop sign, 3-point parallel park, which they don't do anymore because, I don't know, it's pretty much useless. And if you can't figure it out, you're just going to park somewhere else. But that was it. Like, it wasn't, I never got on a highway because you have to think about it. And I think there's a reason. And I don't know if that's optional for the driving instructor, but I don't think it's state required because you don't have to. My mom never drove on a highway her entire life.
Thank God.
Well, she wasn't a bad driver, but she was a nervous driver, so she didn't
I'm
go on a
just
highway.
joking.
But the point is you can be a good driver and not get on a highway. You don't have to, but you need to know what a stop sign is. You need to know how to turn and get into parking lots. But okay, but go ahead. So you're on a highway.
Okay, when I had driver's ed, it was through St. Joseph's Academy.
Yeah, I did too. And you went on a highway? We didn't.
Yes, and
I went to the same thing.
it was snowing.
There was 4 of us crammed in the car.
No, it was
took
me
turns.
and some dude with a clipboard.
Oh,
and he's
really?
like, and he's like, okay.
Oh, I
you-
mean for the class.
He's
I'm
like,
sorry.
you have to go on the Long Island Expressway. So I was like, all right. He's like, you better step on the gas because you have to get fast enough
You gotta
to
merge.
be. Yeah. I was like, okay.
But
And I
didn't anybody take you on the highway while you were training, while you were driving before? Your dad, your mom? Nobody said,
No.
hey, let's get on a highway. Even 2 exits. Like with the kid, I took her on a few exits. Okay, you got to learn to merge. You got to gun it. You know, they're going like 45. And I'm like, no. You got to gun it. You got to match the speed of all the other cars. Yeah. Okay.
No, when I was a kid, my dad put me on his lap and he drove me around Oakwood Cemetery.
Oh, good Lord.
Do you know where that is?
If you're not a good driver, you're going to end up in
His
here.
mom was buried there. And he's like, all right, you could do whatever you want. You're not going to kill anybody. I'm like, okay.
Wait,
So
you talking
I-
about like the parking lot or whatever?
No, in the cemetery.
Oh.
Up and down. And he's like, you can't
so,
kill
So
anybody.
the graves were cones, is what you're saying. You were like dodging,
No,
Mr. and Mrs. Smith buried since 1945.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, and then I had a driver's ed, and they were like, you have to back up. You have to do a 3-point turn. You have to do this. And then you have to go on the LIE. And he's like, step on the gas. You have to accelerate
Yeah.
to highway speed. And I did. And it was snowing out. It was like, it was
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we grew up all around. It snows, you know?
That's what it does.
And then my very first shot, I got my driver's license.
Oh, yeah.
And then after I got my driver's license, I got my first car, and I was the worst driver.
Well,
I crashed into stuff. The very first week, I went to compare foods, and me and my brother and my sister were in the car, and I crashed into this in a parking spot. It was like I can't remember. It was like a little SUV, like a
Oh, you actually
minivan.
in another car.
A minivan.
Oh, yeah.
oh my god, I know I can't think of it, but
doesn't matter, yeah.
it was a tiny little thing.
Kind of the point.
And
I
my
think, too.
brother and sister like, oh my god, you're in so much trouble. I'm like, no, I'm not. You know.
I mean, fender bender one thing, major accident another. I mean, I made mistakes too, and rarely it was in the snow.
So here's where I'm going.
Go ahead, yeah.
I think that we need to take everybody that's going on the road and strictly make sure that they know how to drive. If they don't, we need to improve the transit system so much better that they could just hop on a bus and go where they're going.
Well, okay, yeah, two different things to unpack there.
Nope.
You went from like a rigorous driving test to transit better, which is fine. I agree with both. You know the thing about the driving, it's tough because every state, and this is why the United States has so many conflicting issues. Every state has its own rules and laws. So in a state like New York, we dealt with snow, but they wouldn't have to tell us about snow here in Florida, but they kind of would. Adverse conditions, because what if I drive out of Florida, right? Because my license is good in all 50 states, right, of the United States.
Sure.
Actually, even if you go to Europe, I think they recognize your driver's license relatively as a temporary. But you got to realize, well, we drive on the other side here, and you're like, oh, right. But if you make it too rigorous, then people can't pass their tests, and then you'd have to hire more people that take the job seriously and do that. And I don't know, like
Good.
I know, I agree. Transit, yes, but
I would rather have somebody driving these idiots around. And, you know, I might be the idiot, too. I might be one of those
we're
idiots.
all the idiots. I don't care what anybody ever says.
I'm
Even
not-
the world's
look,
best driving instructor is an
I'm
idiot.
not saying that I'm not one of the idiots, too.
Well, why do you think that is? Why are we the idiots? What is the one thing that separates us from, let's say, the machines, the self-driving, the FDSD, the full self-driving?
Me being mad at somebody that's next to me.
Emotion. That's
Yeah,
it.
emotion.
Literally, just the word emotion. So that's what
Absolutely,
makes it different.
absolutely.
Because logically and soundly in a good mood, you're an amazing driver. You're having a good day. You're following the rules. You're doing the right thing. But the moment something, doesn't matter what it is, changes the emotion, it changes the driving.
And do you know what changed me? I was a complete idiot between 18 and 38. I was a little bit.
Oh, that's like last week.
Oh, please. But do you know what? I mean, if we have a mass transit system that could bring people back and forth completely autonomously and
I get it.
efficiently, I mean, because
I mean, now you're talking my language. I'm all for it. Just
and
how?
do you know why I say this? Because people die.
Yeah. But
I mean,
well, this is when you mentioned gun laws, right? Like we give guns, we rigorous.
And I
They're not
mean-
as rigorous as you think. Like basically, it's all right.
you
So,
read
like,
my mind.
I'm going to
You
say like
reading my
I'm
mind?
going to use Pennsylvania because I spent the most amount of time in my life owning and operating firearms in that state. Now I've done that my entire life, but I'm already legal to own a firearm, right? I don't have a federal criminal record. I have never been mentally, committed. I've never had any charges and things like that, right? So automatically, I
Because
can
they've
just
never
own.
spoken to me.
Well,
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Dave is cool. He's very cool.
no, but either way, innately, I can own, let's say, this rifle. Now, when it came to carrying, there was a background check, right? I don't even think they fingerprinted me. They just background check you, and you pay them the money, and then you go back 36 days later, and they give you a carry permit, and now I carry this pistol everywhere I go. And you think there's a rigorous background check, but it's really based on just the background check. The fact that I've never been caught. And I've had this discussion with people before. But what if they're crazy? But if no one knows they're crazy, they're not crazy.
Yeah.
You can say I'm crazy. I think I am a little crazy. I think we all are a
I
little
don't
crazy.
think
I'm
you're
talking
crazy.
clinical to a point where you've endangered yourself and lives of others and then got caught and went to prison or a mental. Unless they know that, we're all crazy.
Dave,
So-
you are one of the most sane people I've ever met.
But in that in itself is insane, because even all that aside,
Look, let me tell you, if anybody has ever known this guy as long as I've known him, he's absolutely sane.
I've gotten to the point of boredom. I'm a boring person. Like the most less sane people are the ones who take chances, and I did all that stuff when I was younger, but there's also a limit, and I think that's where you go with like being bad drivers and trying to change all these things. Like we all have to conform to agree to these things. Like we agree that we're going to stop at the stop sign. We agree we're going to stop at the light and then go when it's green. Yellow is that neutral.
Yellow means
am I
hurry
close
up.
enough to go through, or am I far enough away to stop? Right? And then you have to gauge: is it a busy intersection? What time of day is it? Right? This is what makes full self-driving so difficult, is that even though the car is technically better than us, we have to make fucking millions of more decisions in split amounts of moments out of experience than a vehicle would, right?
Sure.
Now, if all the vehicles were talking to each other, it'd be a different story. But because you have the intermingling, that's always going to be an issue. But I only use it as an example because, I
Okay.
mean, I agree with you, but
The difference between us talking to each other and the difference between the cars talking to each other is the cars are like, oh, okay, you go first. You go first. I'm going to make a left. You make a right. Us, it's like, fuck you.
But we still make that decision. Whether you made the decision to say, fuck you, buddy, and go, and I made the decision to, you know what, let me just wait and let this asshole go.
Okay.
We both made a decision, and it was agreed upon, and it happened. Sometimes you've gotten to that point where you get to a four-way stop sign, and we all know who stopped first, but no one wants to go. And you know it's
Yeah,
that guy, but then
and
if you go and everybody edges and the next person edges and they stop, and now we're all getting annoyed because just fucking go.
I yell at
Just,
people.
somebody
like that.
just go. I put the car in park and I'll get out and
Yeah.
just wait.
And wave to them.
Yeah, just go.
You go first.
Go, because I don't want to deal with this crap. I'm not in that much of a
Okay.
hurry.
Oh my God. You said it. You said it.
Yeah. But that's not everyone. Now, the emotion. The guy came home from work. He had a bad day. He lost this happened. He's just pissed. He wants to go. He doesn't care. So maybe I didn't, and I'm a little more, calm that day. But it's just the emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
I ever tell you about my driver's test? It's funny you mentioned it since you said yours. The only thing I remember is, like I said, no highway, all suburban side streets, pretty standard.
Really?
Stop sign, left sign, 2-3-point parallel. And the lady gets into the car, and I think I was driving my mom's Corolla or Camry or something, like a little
Yeah.
box car at the time, right? And she gets into the car with this little gas station styrofoam cup full of coffee with no lid, filled to the brim. I mean, filled to the brim. Like, she's like, sipping the top of
Well,
it.
your mom's coffee?
No, the lady that was doing the driving
Oh,
test.
okay.
Yeah, so she's in. So I'm now. If you can't see me, I'm looking at the cup and I'm looking forward and I'm looking at the cup and I'm just like, if I fucking spill this coffee, she's just gonna fail me.
Yeah, she's
doesn't matter
gonna
how
fail.
good of a driver I am. Emotion, she's gonna be mad. Now, even if she's gonna find reasons to get. You think that, right? So now my whole entire driving test is focused on a cup of coffee. Like if she had just put a lid on it, I would have just forgotten about it. But no, I'm just thinking to myself, one little jerk, one false break, one hard left, and it's all over. She's
That's
just going to get pissed. It ended up fine, but I'll never forget that cup of coffee. Ever.
Oh,
Ever. It's burned into my brain, a little white styrofoam cup. And she just turns to me and goes, okay, go ahead.
Burning to your brain. Talking about
It was like her
clitoral
first of the
burns.
day. It was 9 a.m., like she's rearing and ready to go, and I'm fucking freaking out because she's got a cup of coffee with no lid. But
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is
Go ahead.
they just give a driver's license to anybody, and that's a license to kill.
But it is, but so is everything else. It's our responsibility to conform with society. Arizona, they don't you get your driver's license for something like 50 years. So if I get my driver's license at 18 and I'm now 47 years old, I have the same picture on my driver's license when I was 18
In
because I never had to
Arizona?
renew it. I don't know if this is still true, but I remember it being something like 50 years. Now, does that make any sense to you legally? Like, if a guy pulls you over and you're like, now I'm 47 and I become a criminal. Like, we're looking for a guy with a young kid about 18, but that doesn't match the picture. So the idea is, and I'm also that much further in, we should be retested. I think we should be retested every 20 years. Let's say
20
is
years?
20 too far?
I think 20 years is
Because
very.
anything less than 10 is not going to happen. Because
20
again,
years is
you got to think
handsome.
about the money that would take, the influx of people that would have to every 10 or 15, 20 years go back to the DMV and redo this thing that they're teaching their children to do.
Do you know when laws like this change? Like
When something serious happens.
Okay, suppose my name is
It's always
Judge.
reactive, not proactive.
My name is Judge Pearson. Make believe my name is Judge Pearson. Your kid crashes into my kid's car, and he's 17 years old, and he's dead.
Okay, so you made
Judge
it personal.
Pearson
Yeah,
makes a new law.
makes it personal.
Yeah, because laws change when people cry.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I'm 17 years old. I could drive a car. Here you go. It's kind of like they give you a license, and they're like, hey, see you later.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Oh, buyer beware.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Hey,
Don't
do
die
me-
out there.
don't kill anybody I love.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. But if you have a pistol license and somebody robs a Quickie Mart and you shoot the robber and the bullet goes astray and kills somebody that they love, all of a sudden,
Yeah,
the
turned
gun
on
laws
you.
change.
Well, yeah, yes and no, but it's
The law that made them drive the car there doesn't change. The law that has them hop out of the car and starts popping caps into the Quickie Mart, that changes.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know where to go with that. It's
That's what I'm saying.
no, yeah, no, I get it.
Laws change when people that make laws, when somebody that they love dies, then the laws change.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, 9/11 is a good point. You know, they had the whole. They introduced how many laws just because of that.
and
know?
they're all bullshit.
They are, but it gave them a reason.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. And does it make us feel safer? Sure. I mean, does it actually make us safer? I have no idea, but
No.
it does make us feel that way.
It creates an illusion that we're safe.
That's fine. The airport security is an illusion. It's not an illusion. Yes, they're obviously checking for things, but the idea of and there's always no person that says, yeah, but they could someone's going to get away with something. Yes, but it's the idea that most don't. And that's, I think, the key to this whole driving thing. Most people aren't aren't that bad. And when they are, what happens? They have insurance. Let's say hopefully they have insurance. It covers it. Now their insurance goes up, so it just costs them more to drive. Mm-hmm. So if you're that bad of a driver, eventually no one will insure you, and eventually you just have to give up driving, or you have to pay an exorbitant amount of money. Just
like I'm doing with my homeowner's insurance right now.
right, well, for
My
different
homeowner's
reasons,
insurance-
but It's not
Just
like your
jump.
house crashed into another house, but
No, my house didn't crash into anything. But all of a sudden, my homeowner's insurance went up $200.
but that's
a month.
Florida in general.
Where am I going to get it?
Isn't that because Florida insurance companies are pulling out and there's limited amounts left? Like, there's a lot of reports lately of that. I don't own a home here in Florida
And
yet.
does that have to do with me?
Well, yes, because you own the home and you live in Florida. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter the reasons why it's happening. It just matters that it affects you. So now you're paying attention because it affects you because you had to pay more money.
And-
so therefore,
and
that
where's
goes
that
right
money
back to what I
going?
just said. Well, it's supposed to go into the big pile of money that
Yeah,
pays
the big
for
pile of money.
the thing that happens when you make a claim, right?
Yeah.
And
I
they
never
only
made a
hope that claim.
I never made a claim.
Well, but that's the thing. But if you didn't have insurance and needed it, then you wouldn't have it. So it's the whole reason.
Wow, do you know what you sound like?
Is it a
The
commercial?
insurance
'Cause
company.
I feel that way.
You sound like the insurance company that's...
I know, but it's the whole basis of the legality of it. That's it. I'm not trying to be discompassionate. I'm just being realistic. I get it. I don't want to pay insurance either. But if you don't and then you need it and you don't have it, that's all right. That's firearms. So the idea with guns is you drive a car a lot more than you use the gun, right? Even when I
That's
worked
true.
even when I worked at the range, I drove the car more than I shot my gun, right?
There.
Because I had to go to work, and then other people were shooting guns, but I didn't go to work and shoot my gun as much as I drove my car. So the idea is, I think it all comes down to probabilities.
Well, what about bad neighborhoods where people just kill each other every day?
Yeah, but it's the point. You don't in a strange way, and this is the weirdest comparison I'm ever going to make, and I'll probably get flack from it. Guns in the
ahead.
United States are probably more along the lines of nuclear weapons. It's like mutual destruction, right? The idea that if I have a gun and the criminal has a gun, right, and then the criminal knows I have a gun and I know he has a gun, we both have something to lose. When the criminal has a gun and I don't have the gun, only I have something to lose. So it's a mutual. So now you have to make that decision. I don't want to get shot. What if this guy shoots me? It's like the guy with a knife, you know. If you don't have a knife and then all of a sudden you do and they don't, now, I can get cut too. I know it's a really bad comparison, but
So where does that come from? I mean,
I
who
think it's
shoots each
just
other?
like how, just,
The bad guys shoot each other.
but yes, but that doesn't stop them. But bad guys would shoot both. Like a good guy is not going to go and shoot other good guys generally, right? Let's say a cop or a
Not on
military.
purpose.
Right.
Unless
no,
they
I'm
show
not.
up.
I'm saying malicious. But a criminal can go both ways. A criminal is like a bisexual woman, right?
Oh my
They
god!
like women and men. Okay, but and this is a really bad comparison. I'll get flack for it too.
Oh,
but the
I
good
didn't
guy,
say it.
the good guy is the heterosexual. They only go one way, and they're okay with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But the criminal has less to lose, right, than the other person. So they don't care whether it's sure they shoot the bad guy because stealing from a criminal seems like a smart idea. They're a criminal, right?
Yeah, well.
But they have nothing to lose. You stole all their shit, so now they're gonna kill you. But it's probably a terrible comparison. But
I drove around all day in my truck with a gun, and before I left my house, I said, "God, please don't ever have me shoot somebody."
well, but to any normal
I
person,
pray to
that's
God.
what we all want.
I have a gun in my hand, and I
But
say,
God has nothing to do with it. It's you.
No, I'm not saying God. I'm just saying.
I'd be
okay,
like, hey,
whatever.
I hope
Circumstances.
I hope I don't have to shoot anybody
Yeah,
today. Right?
circumstances that.
But I think that only feeds to what everyone thinks America's like. It's not really like that. Like you just know it's there, so if some shit went down, you could rely on it. But
Who
not
shoots
having
each
it
other?
wouldn't matter.
What's the problem in this world with guns? Who shoots each other?
Well,
It's black on black crime mostly.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Look, if you want to get into statistics, we would need numbers to rifle it up.
It is
But
statistic.
in general, let's say if we take all those other things out of the example, it's the I have a gun, you have a gun. So therefore, it's an equal playing field, basically. Again, it always goes to, I think you even mentioned it in the one podcast with Malficus when you said like those states that have the highest gun controls have the highest crime rates when it comes to gun related things because the people can't
And people
protect themselves.
stabbing each other.
Or whatever. There's always another way that's going to be controlled. But like the theater with the Batman showing, and the guy with tear gas and all the guns. If that was in a place where people were carrying, there would have been at least 1 to 3 or 5 people in that audience with firearms. Maybe someone could have saved everyone or done something. But in a state that has incredibly high gun laws like New York or Jersey, no one's going to be carrying unless they're on off duty, cop or something.
Why not?
Because their gun laws are too strict. You can't get a carry license.
Okay, so do you know what? In Royal Palm Beach, the crack cocaine laws are really strict. I have a bag
they
of
should
crack
be.
cocaine. I have a bag of crack cocaine.
He doesn't have a. He's just saying he doesn't actually have a bag of crack cocaine.
Do you think that bad guys follow laws?
Well, no, that's the point of them being criminals. But even criminals have to follow laws in general to a certain degree so that they don't get noticed as criminals, right? The best criminal is the one that doesn't get caught. So they would be following laws working like everyone else. Isn't that like serial killers in a low way? Everyone always, they were just a normal guy. No, but they were just a normal guy. They followed the rules. They paid their taxes. They helped Miss Johnson with their trash. But yet on their off time, they're killing young ladies and burying them in ponds. But, they were following a certain set of rules to mask whatever their criminal activity was. So even to a certain degree, criminals follow the rules too.
Well, they
just have less to lose.
Serial killers usually have antisocial personality disorder. They follow a habit. So
right.
I mean,
we all do though.
I'm going to kill somebody who's 90 years old, woman. Once
I was only using it as an example. I like to pick really, really polarizing examples to make my point. But
so anyway,
my point is that criminals follow rules too. They just follow their own rules. They pick and choose. We don't get to pick and choose. We have to just follow the rules because otherwise, society makes life difficult, and life's difficult enough. It's hard enough when your insurance goes up. It's hard enough when your home rent goes up because the homeowner.
Yeah, yours went up.
Yeah,
right?
And it's like I had nothing to do with that. I'm doing the same thing, but you raised our rent, but my job didn't say, hey, because of inflation, we gave you more money.
Right, yeah.
No,
mine went up $200 a month.
Yeah, that's madness.
Well,
that's
month.
sick. That's disgusting.
Where am I going to get this $200?
I don't know.
Extra.
But this is the point. They know that you will, or you'll just find a new insurance company.
No, there is no insurance.
Well, that's why you'll just pay it.
Yeah.
That's it. They know it. So they monopolized you somehow. You got, and there's probably a lot of things wrong with that, but way too much to unpack and go into right here.
Hey, you like to eat ice cream and rent movies? No, just don't do that.
Well, you have to make sacrifice. That's what we had to do. Even for ours went up $50 a month. And it's the equivalent of the same thing in a way. Just the idea of where am I going to come up with this? Oh, you have to make sacrifice. You can't buy this food. You can't do this thing. You can't have that good time out. You have to,
Well, maybe they need to make sacrifices.
It'd be great, but they're not.
Yeah.
And unless, I don't know.
See, this is where I get in trouble. This is where I run my mouth and get in trouble.
Well, it doesn't really matter. You can have your opinion. It's just I don't think it's going to change anything.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Talk about it, but
I'm not going to go threatening people because I'm not.
No, that doesn't work.
Of course, it doesn't work.
Obviously,
it works.
Well, yeah, but it only works.
Not in my favor.
It's a short.
Not in my favor.
Yeah, and even if it did work, it's a short-term game anyway. It's not a long-term. Yeah. It needs to be a long-term solution. Yeah, for homeowners. I've been following that even just little bits, and I don't exactly know why, but all across Florida, insurance companies are pulling out. Now, I don't know if it's because of storms or floodings or specific laws.
No.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't own a home here in Florida.
No, that's not the reason. The reason they came up with a song. I want more, and you have less. I want more, and you have less.
Yeah.
So whatever, I just give them more, and I have less.
Yeah.
Instead of me having a couple of steak dinners this month.
Well, that's it.
I'll eat ramen noodle soup, and I'll give them my money.
Yeah, or not have insurance, and then
and be homeless.
Yeah, because you have.
They're powerful. They are so powerful.
Yes. But if there were, I think the biggest solution would be if there were more insurance companies that operated, there would be lower prices because then they would be competing.
They're all the same. They're all the same.
Yeah. Oh, and that. Yeah, and then we didn't even get into that part. Are they
they're
shell
all
companies?
the
Are they
same.
conglomerated? Are they all part of the same company with different names? Sure. And at that point, you're like, oh, but there's 3 different choices. Yeah, but if you look at it, they're all owned by the same company. Like that's a monopoly. I don't know. I just
And it's so crazy because like
wouldn't that be a question for actually an economist or the congressman or senators and the mayor and governors?
And it will be after this next.
I mean, we stopped squatters from getting in your house at least with that new bill. Oh, one of the few things DeSantis did that I'm like, yeah, good. Stop these fuckers. This is my house. What are you, crazy?
Yeah. Okay,
can't come in.
And let me tell you, I mean, a lot of people are going to hate this, but like DeSantis said, you know what the fuck is going on here? People are going into your house and not letting you go into your own house. Throw them out. Okay, good.
You make that so simple. You make it sound simple.
And it is.
But
and
now
that's
if
what
you
he
go
did.
in, physically assault them and throw them out, now you get arrested.
No, not anymore.
Well, not anymore.
No,
but
now
that's
people
what I'm saying.
that go into your house.
Yeah.
And now you're allowed to throw them right the fuck out.
Yeah.
And guess what's going to come next? Let me tell you what's going to come next. And you know what? People are like, oh my God, I hate Donald Trump. He's an asshole. Okay, let me tell you right now. Donald Trump is an asshole. He is. Would I want him to date my sister? No. Would I want him to go into my kitchen and make me a grilled cheese sandwich? No. He's a fucking dick. Do I want him to be the president of the United States? Yes.
Okay. All right. And
Yes.
again, you are allowed your opinion. I don't care either way.
He's a dick.
But I agree with
He's
the
a
dick
dick.
part, yeah.
And
So
you
you're
know,
saying that in your own opinion, if he was president, he would do something more about squatters and insurance.
Fuck yeah, he would. Let me tell you something. Day one, if you're a squatter, you're going to be a good buyer. You're going to be thrown out. Believe me. Believe me.
Okay. All right. Well, there
Let
you
me
go.
hold on a second. I've got a fart. Oh, crap. That smells really bad. Really bad. I would suggest leaving the room.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people hate Donald Trump. He's an asshole. I agree. I have worked for a lot of people that have told me, I worked for Donald Trump, and he did this to my house, and he wouldn't pay me for this, and he fucked me over, and he did this and that. I agree. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's a really stupid thing to do. But as far as the country goes, okay, let me ask you this. How many times have you seen the country and you're like, wow, this guy is the president of this country. What a nice guy. None.
But I mean,
None.
to the people that agree with him, they would find reasons to justify.
And that's a recent thing that's just been
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
because of
yeah.
TikTok and YouTube.
Well, yeah.
And blah, blah, blah.
It is a
and blah,
new
blah,
world
blah.
when it comes
It's a new
to
world.
again.
Everybody that has ever been in charge of the world is an asshole.
Yeah.
Putin's an asshole. Clinton was an asshole. Bush was an asshole. They were all assholes.
Yeah, but they.
But
you
Donald Trump is running. He's like, I am the biggest asshole you have ever seen.
They
If
have-
you were a proctologist, you could put your fist up my asshole and you would not even hit the sides. Trust me.
Wouldn't they? Wouldn't they have to be? Because no matter what you said, no matter what we say, no matter what anyone says, there's no way you're going to make everyone happy ever.
Of
right?
course not. Of
So
course not.
that's the point of the democracy, where in the sense that we get the illusion, and I say it as illusion, that we vote, right? And the more people who vote for this is the idea of we have control, right?
Yeah.
And I like to say it's an illusion because I honestly think
It is an illusion,
mostly it is.
Sure, it's
Does
an
it work? Yes. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying that it's still a broken system. Two-party system should be way more than that. We shouldn't just have two fucking choices.
Yep.
Okay? It's the worst because then no matter what, it's red and blue and there's no other fucking color and you can't make the rainbow. But that's why I hate talking about politics because there's no
Me too, me
right
too.
way. You're
And that's
entitled to
why-
your opinion.
and
I
that's
myself
why
don't
I
care.
I hate endorsing Trump. I hate it. But I have to. Because he just came out of nowhere and he's like, I'm gonna take your little playground where you've been fucking up the country for 1,000 years, and I'm gonna kick the sand right in your face. And okay, Dave, me and you have been friends since we were little kids. Donald Trump, was he always popular? Did anybody hate him when we were kids?
Well, but it was under different pretenses.
But I'm saying,
But he was all we knew of him was he was a rich businessman. That was it.
but did we love him? Did he?
We didn't care. I mean,
Right, we didn't care. But at the same time, he would be friends with Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. He would do a lot of things for the black community. And all of a sudden, he said something. He said, the Mexicans are sending bad people over our nation. All of a sudden, boom! Rosie O'Donnell, all these Hollywood people that are on our TV every day jumped up and said that they hated him. Where did these people come from?
well, they were always there. It's just they weren't.
They were pieces of shit from day one. Look,
Man, you're on a Donald Trump. Did you send him like fan mail lately or
hell
something?
no.
Okay,
Hell no.
it's fine.
I'm not like a.
You're venting, man. Go.
I'm not a. Donald
I don't ever
Trump.
have any of this kind of venting to do when it comes to politics.
I'm
Because
not
honestly,
an ass kisser for
how many
Donald
presidents have we gone through since we were old enough to understand presidents? Let's say 6 or 7 years old.
Trump. Okay,
right?
since
What have we
we
gone
were
through?
born-
8?
Okay,
8, 9?
when we
8?
were born, the president was.
I mean, Reagan was
Jimmy
the
Carter.
80s. Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
Was the president when we were born.
Yeah. So it's about 8 presidents. You don't have to be exact. We don't have to go crazy.
Then
But
after
you think
we
about
were
it.
born, it was Ronald Reagan.
He's going to be exact.
I am. Ronald Reagan got elected twice.
Okay, so we're going to count that as 2.
Well, all right. And
Well, no, we can't because it's the individualistic point of this. Okay, go
And
ahead.
Ronald Reagan had some problems with his cognitive ability.
Oh yeah. By the end, he was Bidening it.
Yeah, he was Biden. Yes, exactly.
Bidening his time.
He was Biden.
And okay, but go ahead.
And then after him, we
It was the senior Bush and then the other Bush,
yeah, senior
right?
Bush.
So that's 4.
Then Bush.
And then after
And then Clinton.
and Clinton, that's 5.
Oh, then
okay,
we had
yeah.
Clinton. Hold on a second.
I did
Clinton-
not have sexual
I
relations. Yeah, we get it.
No, as a matter of fact, I did have sexual.
She kept the
relationships.
dress. I was wrong.
Hold on.
Okay, so
I would
that's
like
5.
To address something.
Who's there? Who's after Clinton? Because I really don't know them exactly.
Obama.
Okay, so that's 6.
Whoa, hold on a second. When I was president, me and my wife, Michelle, we did a good job.
Did you see on Sesame Street? She does a good job on
Sesame
Sesame
Street.
Street. Okay, so we're up to 6.
All
Who's
right.
after Obama?
After Obama was, let me tell you who was after
Oh,
Obama.
okay, Trump.
I was after Obama.
So
and then
se-
all of a sudden, his best buddy,
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
So we're on
And-
7.
And do you know what people?
Who is after Trump?
Biden.
So we have 8 presidents since we were, let's just say, cognitive enough, or at least when we were around the age of 5. 8 presidents.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't follow politics. It has not changed my life in any fucking way at all. Okay? And if it did, it was to a point where society, you're in the wave. You're just the surfer on the wave, just going. Now, sometimes it's a big wave, sometimes it's a small wave, but it's still a wave. I still have to go to work. I still have to pay my taxes. Death and taxes, the 2 things that never change.
How much do you have to pay and how much do you get?
Yes, but it's still, even if it fluctuates, even if one is a little less and then 4 years later one is a little more, it's just fucking balanced. In retrospect, and this is because I think I don't follow, it has never made a difference in my life. Never. Whether a president was there or not or who it was. Now, did they
has.
make differences? Abso-fucking-lutely. Each one did something that was better or at least contributed to the United States or the world or people in general. Look, you can't, even the worst president still contributed. They have to. There's no choice. They have a million things across their desk. Imagine a desk
See,
with,
that's not fair saying the worst president because a lot of people that were president,
the opinion
they,
of the
they were
worst.
the worst because there was a lot of shit that
okay, right,
was
but
thrown on them. Like,
That's my point,
Like
is
Richard
that-
Nixon.
right.
Richard Nixon was a great president.
Right.
But he got fucked.
okay, but he also did a lot of fucking. You know, he screwed up a lot.
Oh,
he
I
made choices that he didn't.
I screwed nobody.
No, and again, I'm not politically savvy enough to protect and make examples of the good and the bad. I'm just saying that it didn't make a difference, and it's why I don't pay attention.
Okay, this is what happened.
What is elections? It's this year? It's what is it called?
In
November or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
This is what happened.
Well, come back to me in November, and I'll go. Okay, great. Yeah.
See, this is what happened. Donald Trump was like, okay, do you know what? I'm gonna.
We said we weren't going to talk politics, and we spent a lot of time talking politics.
All right.
But
well,
go ahead.
fuck him.
Fine, go ahead. It's fine.
Whatever. I mean, Trump was like, I'm gonna take the foreign oil and this and that, and I'm gonna use our oil. So that's why oil, like gas, was like $2.
Where is gas $2, and where can I get
under
it?
Trump, gas was cheap.
Oh, at that time. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. And again, you're talking about geopolitical things and international economics. It is something, again, without actual research and statistics and facts and reasoning and all kinds of stuff, you couldn't come up with good answers. And I still think no matter what, someone's gonna do.
I mean,
you could, but someone's going to still go, yeah, but.
we drilled in Texas. We drilled in our own country.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
instead of making a bargain with OPEC in other countries and saying, "Oh, we're gonna buy from you," we buy from other countries and we sell to them. That's like me saying, "Hey, Dave,
I know.
I have strawberries. I'm gonna sell you 10 strawberries, and you're gonna sell me 20 strawberries."
It's like, yeah.
And the people that buy these strawberries, I'm like, why are you selling and buying each other
Yep. Yeah.
from these people?
I don't know. I'm on the camp of why are we still putting so much effort into combustible crap and oil? And as necessary as it will be for the next 50 years, it as long as we're on a downgrade, that's progress. But better than California. What was I saw recently last week, like $6.37 a gallon. $6 fucking dollars a gallon.
Yeah.
What the F? That's double what we pay, which is crazy because we're paying like 3 and change on a high week, low 3 on a good, right? And Easter it went up 40 cents. But all that stuff, we're still reliant on it. Now, even if all cars went electric, we would still be reliant on fluctuating energy costs because more people are using it. We need to pump more energy out, so their costs more. So therefore that would go up too. But
Of course,
it still wouldn't be oil, and it would be internal. We don't, get our electricity from another country. We could get that here. But this is where I go a different route.
Okay.
Not to change it, but
This is where it comes from. If you want to create energy, you have to take away from where we are.
right, the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
Like I've always said, well, we've always done it this way. Yeah. Well, then let's stop doing it that way. Let's try doing it this way, or start implementing this way, or have a branch on a tree that gives us multiple ways so that we're not all conformed to just one. And I think we're making progress with the introduction of electric vehicles, the electrification of the world.
We should be in charge.
No, I don't want to. I
You
barely
don't
want to be
think
in
so?
charge
Me
of
and
my
you should be
family.
in charge?
I'm not even in charge of my family. My wife wears all the pants.
Okay.
I'm wearing
all right.
sweatpants these days.
Okay, so Mo can be in charge, and me and you could just be like, because I
I want to be the announcers. Like
it's like
now on
Unless-
stage, you've got somebody coming down the stage on electrical. Oh, Donald Trump comes up with an oil carousel.
Let me tell you, let me go. No.
No, I mean, I just want to be left alone, man. Pay my taxes, no red flags, leave me the fuck alone. Maybe a few people listening to the podcast go, I fucking hate what they're saying. And then the other people are like, I don't mind what they're saying. And there's some people going, I don't give a fuck. I don't even listen to them.
Do you know where
That's
I've
fine.
come-
That's the best part. That's the best part. Choice. As
Where
long
I've-
as we still have choice, I'm okay.
Where I've come to at this point, and I've been thinking about this for the last several days, it doesn't matter where our energy comes from. It comes from somewhere. Like,
Well, it has to.
yeah.
I mean, obviously.
So where does my life come from? I'm going to die someday. So I
Wow,
wanna,
he went existential real fast,
Yes.
didn't he, folks? He went from like we need
instead of
energy
me
and
working
electricity,
my
but
job
I'm gonna die.
every day, instead of me working my job every day, fuck it. I'm gonna do something else. That
Yeah,
makes
but
me happy.
nothing stops you from that. Don't you have a
Right.
choice? This is my point.
Exactly, and
Oh,
you do.
okay. Yeah, we do. We have the choice. But that choice
And
isn't
that's
always
what I'm
easy.
saying.
It's a difficult choice because, okay, if I do that, then I have to sacrifice because I made more less money or I don't have money, right? So,
Right.
yeah, we
And
still
what
have a choice.
and what I'm really saying is, I don't trust anybody else in this world other than you to make this a reality.
I was really hoping you would say you because not me. Don't trust anybody else in this world. I don't want to make any kind of decision like that.
You know what I mean.
I'm not nearly smart enough nor
And
sane
you know
enough.
what? The fact that you said that, you are smart enough.
This is not a political endorsement, folks. By the
Do you
way,
know what? Fuck. Do you know
I
what?
want nothing.
Okay.
I just
everybody-
want to talk about science and cool tech
Everybody,
and shit.
don't
nature.
listen to Dave. Dave's an idiot. He's the smartest fucking guy in the world that I've ever met.
Wow. I think Rob's drunk. Everyone, we're gonna give him a sobriety test with a pen when we end this episode.
Oh my god.
He's gonna trip over the table, and then we're gonna be like, "You're going to podcast jail."
No, it's so funny because
No, it's fine. This is a good rant. Hey, you had something to rant about. I can never go that far on how much if I would, forget it, we'd never end. I wish there were more solutions to the same questions. We seem to keep hearing the same questions because we're definitely not the only two people with the same exact concerns. The same. I mean, where do we hear it? We're pretty much human beings. We're like parrots.
Yeah.
We take information and we pass it on and we talk about it because it's something new or it's news or it's novel or whatever. And we just regurgitate it again and again, and then eventually it either becomes a telephone game or the same exact crap and the same exact questions asked over and over, but yet no solutions are given, or solutions are given and not implemented. Let's say it that way, But
or the
I'm
smart-
optimistic. I'm always optimistic. I think we're gonna be all right.
Or the smartest thing I could ever say is, yes, I'm wrong, and you can help me be right.
Sure. Or how can you help me be less wrong?
Yeah.
That's it. And it's humbling and honest, and
See, exactly. That's
there's
what I'm
nothing
talking
wrong
about.
with that. Like,
And
fuck,
that's-
if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Actually, I do care.
Yeah.
I don't care that I was wrong. I care that I'd rather be right. Not
Yes,
to be right,
exactly.
so that we wouldn't be, again, spreading the false, the misinformation and the crap. And, you want to be accurate.
Do me a favor so I don't trip over my own feet.
Yeah. But isn't that kind of what the aides and all the people around the president and large and important people in the world, like a CEO has a bunch of people around him, and even though he makes all decisions, there's still someone around him to catch things.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
I hope
a
so.
manager and an assistant manager. I'm just saying, when you look at it, we all need that.
But I don't vote for them. That's
It's a different scale, but sure. Yeah. But if it was a publicly traded board, you very well may vote for them. Like, something. It is that's the thing. Like, there is a lot of that in this world. It just depends on the logistics of the situation. And it's too much. It's too much. My brain hurts. This conversation has made my brain hurt, and I listen to a lot of science.
all right. Well, we'll pass that on.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. My brain doesn't hurt nearly enough these days. You know why my brain hurts, people? Because we got to think about some stuff. And it forces you to come to grips with your own opinion and whether that opinion is actually valid or how you can validate it with words instead of actions. We use too much protests and dangerous actions like, rioting and physical confrontations when we could be talking.
I love it. I love it. Yes.
It is great, but I just wish it had more.
Yes, Dave,
I
fight
wish it
them.
had more
Fight
volume.
them.
It's crazy bad.
Fight these motherfuckers.
All right, Rob. Well, thanks. Do you have anything else to vent? I don't know.
Hell no.
I think he's done.
I think you summarized that beautifully.
I see his oil tank, and it seems to be on empty. I believe
My
he's
oil
finished.
tank. My hair looks wonderful.
I need to plug in. I need to charge because we're running out of steam. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to A Lifetime of Conversation. You can always find us on Lifetime of Conversations at YouTube or on Spotify and wherever podcasts are available.
How dare you send us an email?